Hi Flosstube, welcome to December the 4th day of Vlogmas. This is Lori McCleary, Texstylust, and welcome to my channel. Hi Flosstubies, as I talked about yesterday, I'm going to go ahead and do a little short demonstration regarding my Hexagon star a day. This is what they look like when they're done. I've showed these a couple times before in passing. I've kind of talked about that I'm doing them. I am stitching these with two friends, Kimberly and Annie. And we keep each other going. Kimberly is definitely the most diligent of the three. Annie and I get behind a few times, but we all have really busy lives. But we are all determined we're going to get these done. We're a little past halfway, and I've gotten behind and I need to catch up. So I thought this would be a great opportunity to talk about kind of the process that I use. Many people do these as English paper piecing. I do not. I actually just hand stitch them. So I'm going to show that today. If you're interested in how to English paper piece, there are a ton of fantastic videos on YouTube. You can look it up. What these are made out of is a 60-degree triangle. And what that means is you're going to get 6 points on your stars. And the pieces that you do to make your star is exactly the same piece that you do to put here, which in turn makes this a hexagon. So the pattern that I'm using is called Hexagon Star a Day. It's by Karen Stiles, and it's published by Somerset Patchwork and Quilting in Victoria, Australia. And if you've never seen I'm going to put it over here. If you've never seen her quilts, go ahead and look her up on social media. I'm not sure if she has an Instagram account, but if you type in Karen Stiles, you will find a beautiful array of quilts that she's done. I have another pattern that I plan on doing at some point, and that one is called Little Sister. And this is a take on the Seven Sisters pattern. Her patterns, I think they all come this way. I'm not positive, but they all come with the templates that you need to make them. This one came with, oh gosh, did I already lose one of them? It came with these two, and then the smaller one that I was just using a moment ago. Apologies for the quick pause there. I did not want to continue until I found this. It's not very big. This is a 7/8 inch 60-degree diamond. That is the main piece that I use. So it comes with instructions. I'm just going to kind of show you my process and how I cut them out. I picked this pattern up at the Woolen Needle, and I believe you can still get it there. And I will put a link down below of their web address so that if you choose to order this, you can. When I bought the pattern, I also bought several of these little packs in colors that I liked. They are, I think they're the half a width of fabric, so like 22 inches by 6 perhaps. Yes, 22 inches by 6 inches. So when you get these little packs, you get a huge variety of different fabrics so that you can make it very scrappy. I've been working on this for half a year now, so I have lots that I have pulled out of the packs. Once I start using them, I iron them out and I just leave them here. So let's see if I can find one that I haven't used yet. So this is basically what you get rolled up. And I probably purchased, oh gosh, I don't know, maybe 6 or 8 of those little packages. And you don't have to do it that way. You can definitely use the scraps that you currently have. I kind of wanted to stick with a general color theme. So my colors are the browns and reds and golds and then greens. And these are all from designers like Joe Morton and Kim Deal and some Three Sisters, people that do these darker colors that go better with my decor. That it would look beautiful in any. If the pack happened to have a blue in it, which some of them did, I pulled those out because in this pattern, let's look at it up close. In this pattern, you'll see, kind of look there off to your, well, look towards the middle. You'll see that there's some larger diamonds. That is what this template here is for, is to cut out the larger diamonds. And they are in kind of the gray blues. And so I pulled out any of the gray blues and set them aside for those diamonds. The premise of this is that if you make one of these a day, at the end of the year, you will have enough to make a quilt. And I believe the quilt is, let's see, you'll be making a total of 364 stars. I can't remember if it was 64 or 65. You're going to be making a quilt that is, it's not quite a twin size. I think it's a little bit smaller, but it's a good size. It would definitely be a lap quilt size or one that would be beautiful hanging on a wall. And I'll show you one that's just a little bit larger size. You could take this one, and if you wanted to do larger diamonds, you could, and then the stars would be bigger and the quilt would be bigger, and or it would go faster. Now I would, if you really want to give this a try, I highly recommend just giving it a chance to do the small ones. Just like the one red thread a day, it takes me maybe 20 minutes to stitch one of the stars once they're cut out. And I don't feel like I have to make the whole quilt all at once. I don't feel in a hurry. I know all that I'm responsible for. The commitment that I've made to myself is to make one of these a day, and then in no time at all, because you know how fast a year goes, in no time at all you have enough to make a quilt. So right now, even though I'm a couple weeks behind, right now here is the stars that I've made. Right now I'm keeping them in some vintage pottery planters that I have. I have 4 or 5 of these, and I love these. They just fit exactly, and then they stand up and they don't get scrunched and they don't get lost and misplaced. Okay, oh, here's the one I wanted to show you. So this one is, I've got a needle in it, so let me be careful here. This one is made with the larger diamond. And let's talk a little bit about supplies. So I use a 1.5 by 6.5 ruler by Creative Grids. It's just a tiny ruler. You will find this size in almost every quilt shop that carries Creative Grids, probably with their logo on it. This one's just the basic Creative Grids. This is the perfect size. You don't use the entire width, you use 7/8 because this is 7/8. So there's a 7/8 line. And what I do, well, I'll show you that in just a second. I'm just going to show you the rest of the tools. So the templates that came with the pattern. I use a sew line marker. Now these come in different shapes and forms. You can get a single one that has a single color. This one happens to have 2 colors. So if I twist it, I can get white, or I can get like a graphite color. And I'm sorry, it's harder to see. Or I get just a plain point here, and this is to use with like tracing paper or to make an indentation. So this is called a 3-in-1. It's by Sew Line, And I love the Sew Line products. They are very, very nice. I just bought one that has 3 color pencils in it. I haven't taken out the package and I'm not even sure where it's at right now. But I use this. I keep one with this project. I use, for piecing, I use a number 10 Big Eye applique needle by Tulip. I'm going to try to make sure. It's hard sometimes to, there we go. I use the Big Eye needle because it's easier on these older eyes. These needles are very nice. They come in a nice glass tube with a nice cork, so it's not easy to lose them. When I finish with them, I definitely keep these tubes. In fact, I think this is an empty one. I think I'm going to change this over and put this over by my stitchy chair for my size 28 bow and needles for my cross stitch. I'm going to peel the little sticker off so I know that it's an empty one, and I'm going to put that over there. Because it is smaller, you can usually thread the needle without any problem, but if I'm having a problem, I have one of these tiny, these are made for smaller sewing needles, and this is how they work. It has a little, the bill, again, I don't know if you can see that. There's the threader, and then you close that to keep the threader from bending or breaking off. I don't recall, I think this is a clover as well, but if it isn't, I will put the information down below. My stitching thread that I use for this, I talked about using the Masterpiece. I just happen to have this particular one. That's a good color for these. That's an Aurifil. And this is an Aurifil color number 2324. There we go. Oops, sorry, upside down. And I keep all of these, when I'm using them, I keep them in my little tray. This is a Lehay tray. It's not real big. It's in fact exactly the size that I need for this. But when I'm on the go, I made this clutch. I showed this last summer in July when I made it with my friend Barb. I used this clutch that I made. The clutch has pockets. It has zipper things, so you can put stuff that likes to disappear in there, and everything fits in there. It has a nice wide bottom, so I can drop in my thread, my pencil, I can put the needles and my snips and in the zipper compartment. My little ruler fits exactly into this little pocket that I made there. Fits right in there. And I can even put pre-cut in here, and it all fits very nicely, and then I can just fold it up and nothing gets lost. Okay, so let's talk about how I mark these, and then we'll talk about how I sew them together. So I have my fabric here. Now some of the things of fabric were just slightly wider than 6, but what I do is I use my ruler, and I'm sorry, I got to pay attention to make sure I'm not out of frame, and I line up whatever number is on the ruler, and I draw a line down the side of the fabric, and then I take my little diamond and you lay it just like this, and here I'll show you here on the bottom, and I just start marking. So you're marking the outside edge that you're cutting, and you're marking the inside diamond that you're going to use to sew. So let me hold it up there closer so you can see. And you need, for each star, you need to do 6 of these. So what I do is I pull out several colors, and I usually mark out and cut out enough for 2 stars, so 12 little diamonds. And even though I have enough to make several, I'm trying to make it really scrappy, so I don't know if I have enough of these to make the entire quilt. I think I do, but if I don't, I'm trying to space them out so that I'm using it evenly. So once you cut them out, they're going to look like this, and you do want to cut right on the line, and you can see cut on the line, and then I have my sewing line, and you need 6 light and 6 dark. So I have a really pretty brown one here, 6 dark, 6 light. This is going to be the star, and this is going to be the outside of the star, which forms it into hexagon. Now you don't have to do it that way. You can do all the lights in the center and all the darks on the outside, and you can even do a mixture of both. It really depends. I'm doing mine more like what the sorry about that, more like what the pattern is showing, and so my lights are going to be on the outside and my darks are going to be on the inside. And then what you do, this is kind of hard to show this direction. I'm going to use my bigger one here, and let me get this needle threaded again. Uno momento. So instead of paper piecing, again, most people do this as paper piecing. I am doing it as I'm just sewing on the line. And so basically you can see I have 2 lined up, and there's my line, and I'm just doing stitches. And I'm sorry, I don't have this set up to do. So I'm just doing little bites, just like you were hand stitching something. This is a really good way to practice and improve. If you need to improve, you may not, improve your hand stitching. And I just go right down the line, and let me show, here's one I've done. See, I just go right down the line, right to the point, and then I add the next star, and I do it again. It goes much faster than you think it would, and they come out perfect. So here, let me find one that's done. So this one is done. You can see so I've sewn this by hand. I'm using a 50 weight thread. And then what I do is I spin the middle and I press it flat, and you kind of get the star in the middle, and that presses it perfectly flat. And then you just start stitching the next diamond here. You stop at the point, you pivot, and then sew the next edge, and then pivot and start the next one. And that's really all there is to it. It's very simple. It's relaxing because, like I said, you're not really responsible for more than 1 star a day. And it's beautiful. It's very beautiful. If you have any questions about this process, or if you need me to show it again, maybe show it like a close-up for hand stitching, I can do that. I have to set up the camera different, and I didn't have a lot of time today to record. So hi, this is future editing Lori that's going to jump in the middle of the Vlogmas that you're just watching. So I was finishing this up and editing it, and I really cannot say that was a great demonstration. But I do have a limited time today, so I am going to set up the camera tomorrow so that I can show you a hands-on. I will do a star from start to finish so you can really see how that works. So never fear, that's not all there is. I will be back tomorrow, maybe even the day after, but very soon, to show you the rest of how to put these stars together so you can see it from start to finish. Now back to the regularly scheduled program. You will have some scraps if you use those little, they call them cigars, but I think they call them something else now. You will have some scraps left over, and I'm actually saving these scraps even though they're pretty tiny, because I have another small quilt that I am looking forward to making. And this is the stamp. The finished version of this, I believe, is 3 inches. And so these are, I'm gonna measure them. Last time I guessed when I was talking about this. Where is my little, sorry about that. It's amazing how quickly you can lose something in 5 minutes and just a very small space. But these, each row finishes 1/2 inch. And so these are actually exactly a perfect size to make this little block. I haven't made it yet. Basically what you do is you stamp your paper. I'll probably use the newspaper grade, similar to what I was showing with the other quilt, doing the foundation piecing, and then you stitch on the line and you make a log cabin block that finishes 3-inch squared. And I'll probably do a practice one and make a pincushion out of it, and we'll see. So for today's gift that will go in the box, it will either be this or it will be one of these, and I will make a pincushion to put in the box. And I will show that pincushion when it's done. It's gonna, like I said, it's gonna be a short video today, so I will probably finish cutting things out and I will work on it and show it to you in the next week or so. Surprise, I'm back. I thought I was done. I am not done. I have other things to share with you. I wanted to show you what I got accomplished last night on my start on A Merry Heart by Plum Street. I'm doing this on 36 count ale, and I'm using the called for floss, which is all classic colorworks, and that's these right here. And this is my start. It doesn't look like a lot, but that's actually, I think that's 4 lengths of floss. So, you know, 45 minutes or so. So that was my start. And I'm loving it already. I'm really, really loving it. These colors are so warm and rich, deep and rich. They're beautiful. So I got my start on that. So it'll be easier to pick up and get going anytime I want. And then today's start, I pulled out of the bag. I'm going to, oh, this one I wanted to start for so long, since Farm Girl Michelle, she showed it a long time ago. I think it was the first year it came out. Well, no, this came out 2013, so it must have been the first year that Country Sampler did a conversion. I don't have their conversion. I'm doing the called for, and it's sleigh rides and snowflakes. And I am using the called for colors. Here they are. This one I need to put on a floss ring. And I'm going to do this on 40 count bramble. And I'm going to start that today. So maybe after I get some more hexagon stars cut out. So that's that I wanted to share. And then I also wanted to share, so remember when I showed you the half square triangles and I mentioned that I had made 2 other quilts. Well, I'm going to show you the 2 other quilts that I made. And here's one of them. This is a 6-inch finished quilt. And it's quilted. And this is also a 6-inch finished quilt. Those are, let me remember, those are 1-inch finished half square triangles. And that shows you how precise, because that's, I figured that when I tested it, I wanted to test it on something very tiny, and that if it came out perfectly, then I knew that these were going to work for me. So this was my first one. This is the back. I had a little extra one, so I put it on the back. Did I do that on this one? No, I did not. I have an extra wide binding on here, and I use these on their little quilts that I hang over fences that are next to my Harold Turpin houses. And I'm going to show a little video here of what they look like. And on. Either I will put it in the beginning of the video or I will put it in the end of the video. I'm not sure which, because I'm starting to change over the decor. So I'm gonna have, it'll show you what it looked like before, and then it will show you what it looks like now. So the Harold Turpin houses, the fences that I have with them came with quilts on them. Those quilts are actually, I don't know what finish he used, but they're kind of lacquered, so they're very they're stiff, right? So they're actually connected to the fence. They're not going anywhere, but sometimes I just want to change out the decor. So now it's really the end of the video, and I look forward to seeing everyone tomorrow. Bye bye till then.
Because I did stitch mine a little bit smaller, but they as likely won't be released until 2025 or beyond. I don't know exactly when, but that door and window on it. So cute to tuck into bowls, trays,